Hello there, dear YouTubers. My name is King1993, and today I'll be talking about another Super Mecha champion Mecha. And today's Mecha will be called Andromeda. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, here's the thing. This one here is called the Andromeda. Okay. Now, Andromeda is a feminine-looking Mecha. I do not know why these details is actually given here. That was unnecessary. Anyway, it looks feminine because its pilot is also a female pilot. Okay. Now, as for the ability, it has a basic durability of 2000 and an additional shield of 550. Okay, with a total fuel of 100. Now, this is the primary weapon. The primary weapon has a clip capacity of 12 shot 2.2 shots per second, or let's say 2 shots per second, and a reloading time of 2 seconds. Whereas for this homing javelin, it has a cooldown of 12 seconds with a total saturated damage of 548. Now, it has a what should I call it? This one, sorry, this one is basically a jump, or after jumping, it can basically levitate. So the jumping fuel consumption is 23, whereas the levitation consumption is basically 8.6 fuel per second. Okay, so it can stay up to how many? Let's just say maybe up to 10 seconds. Yep, something like that. And this one is called the tactical skill, or the dodging capability of this mecha, which has a cooldown of 7 seconds. And as for the dodging, total dodging, or what should I call it, distance is not actually very high. But anyway, now when it comes to these mods, okay, like when it comes to the mods of this mecha, because I do not have this mecha, so I cannot actually show you guys about this mod yet. I will get this mecha in the future, so I will give you guys some other description from this place. Okay, let's just say if I were to have Andromeda, then obviously the mods that I would give Andromeda are the following, such as range attack components, rapid mag, optimal reloading, and efficient transmission, because all of them has the same thing, and that is reload. Okay, total reload will then increase to 12% reload. Now, as for the secondary weapon recovery, or combat skill recovery, I have given this mecha. I would give Andromeda this quick cooldown plan and engine boost. Now, why is that? Well, as you can see here, the combat skill recovery and the secondary weapon, both of them can be found in this place as well as here. So with the maximum amount of combat skill recovery which you are gonna get is up to 3.2%, and secondary weapon recovery, the speed is gonna be 4%. So obviously, because of this reason, I would give Andromeda this following thing. Okay, now to know more about this Andromeda, I am gonna go to the training ground to actually talk about it. First of all, let me lower the audio. Okay, now let's go to the training ground. Okay. Okay, for some reason it seems the mic is on. How do I actually mute that? I do not know how to mute another person's sound. Anyway, let's call Andromeda. Okay, now when I am talking about Andromeda, first of all, let's talk about its core skill. Now, the secondary weapon is gonna be able to detect the mechas, okay, where the mecha are, up to 140 meters. I have tried. Afterwards, it will not be able to track them, but it will be able to apply the paralyzing effect for 0.2 seconds. Okay, now the second one, which is called Enhanced Engine, it will basically give this mecha the ability to recover its what should I call it, fuel, as it is hitting the enemies. Okay, for example, let's start with core 1 and then I'll show you to. So let's say this mecha is okay. Let me go back a little bit further. Okay. Okay, 188, 140. Okay, now. Okay, it is ready. Now, if I were to use this thing, okay, as you can see, it can mark. But if I were to go a little bit more back, it will select some other target. Now, why is that? That is because the maximum distance of the secondary weapon and its homing capability is 140 meter, as you saw, okay? And afterwards, it hits the enemy, it will basically cause them to paralyze for 0.2 seconds. So obviously, if you want to paralyze your mecha and if you have bad aiming capabilities, then obviously this hit seeking barrel is actually a very good option. I'm not saying bad, it is up to you. If you have a very good aim, then you will be choosing this one instead. Okay, what is the difference between this one? So once you have choose to this enhanced engine, what will happen is once you shoot this mecha, you will see that the fuel is actually recovering. Okay, so if you want to stay in the air for a very long period of time, then obviously this other core, which is called enhanced engine, is gonna be more beneficial for you. Okay, and after this is done, now let's talk about this attack module. Now when it comes to the attack module, there are two options. Okay, either you can increase the capacity of this primary weapon, or you can use this rapid throw, which will basically give this mecha more secondary weapon cooldown. So you will get up to two mods of secondary weapon cooldown, and if you were to lower your secondary weapon cooldown even by 3%, then obviously you'll be able to hit your mechas with the secondary weapon a lot more often. So if you want to hit your enemies with the secondary weapon with a lot more often, then I highly suggest use this rapid throw, because as you can see here, if I were to do the rapid throw and use a secondary shot, it takes about 9 seconds to actually cooldown. Okay, now if I were to select this, then you will see that it has a cooldown of about 12 seconds. So this is the place. Okay, remember to watch at this place. So that is the basically main reason why I would rather use this rapid throw, because I would rather have two weapons, both the primary and the secondary weapon, available as much as time as possible. Now as for this one, which is called the Turbojet, Turbojet is basically the dashing capability or the tactical weapon of this mecha. So the tactical weapon of this mecha is actually not that much good. What do I mean by that? Okay, you can use it only once, and as you saw, that's the maximum you can go. Now in case if you're wondering, okay, that was done while in the ground, what about off the ground? Okay, let's say I am doing forward and now it can only go a little bit high. Now that is not that much good, okay, when compared to this shield, because truth to be told, when you are fighting against mecha and you are dodging for a millimeter amount of distance, then obviously that is not going to be good. So what can you do to make it better? Obviously to have more shield, which is why I would rather prefer to use this blip shield instead of Turbojet. Okay, now as for this super fuel, now this super fuel or this enhanced engine enhancement, I would rather use this engine enhancement. It basically means that this mecha will be able to move a lot faster while it is in the air. Okay, now why would I choose this instead of hovering for a little bit more longer? Well, the thing is flight issues. Okay, what are the flight issues? Okay, the flight issues are basically like that if you are using this mecha and this mecha is not moving fast, then what will happen is enemy will have easier time to actually track you down using their weapon to actually attack you. Okay, and you'd rather not want that. Okay, what you want is the ability to move in the air as fast as possible. So if you were to move as fast as possible, obviously that is going to be a far better option than just to hover around for 3 seconds a little bit longer with less flight speed. Okay, now the flight speed which you are getting is 20%. That is a lot actually. So do not use this super fuel, instead use this engine enhancement. Okay, because speed in this game is very important. Any mecha that is basically slow is going to be a burdensome for you, both in the team deathmatch as well as in battle royale. Okay, now after all of this is done, the question remains is why is this mecha is considered as a queen class mecha? Because this mecha can get to higher platform a lot easier compared to any of the other mecha. For example, as I have already made a video regarding Hot Steel, how it can go from this one place to another to even outside of the stadium. Similarly, this mecha can also do the same. So let's say I'm gonna going to that place, okay, which is 150 meters away. Okay, now look what happens. I can not only just go there, right? I can almost get out of the stadium. Okay, now I could have gotten out of the stadium, but in order to do that, I must need to use this tactical. Okay, now let's see what happens if I were to use this tactical as well as jump out of this stadium. Will I be able to do it? Yes, obviously I will be able to do it. Now just watch. One time. Okay, now I'm basically out of the stadium. So basically speaking, if I were to mark this place here, okay, and then go back to the place where I was standing, then you will be able to see how much of a distance I have actually traveled. Okay, so I have traveled about 100, or let's say 179 meters. So the fact that you can basically travel up to 200, or let's say 180 meters using this mecha is basically an indication why this mecha is considered as a queen class mecha. Now another question is, okay, what are the benefit of a queen class mecha? A queen class mecha can basically go to a higher platform and monitor your enemy's movement. So let's say you already have a certain team which basically are waiting for your command and are actually waiting for you to see where the enemies are. So in order for you to actually do that, okay, you must need to be on a very high position. Okay, sorry, for some reason I fell down. Let me go up again. Okay. Okay, so for me to able to stand to this higher ground and actually see where the enemies are is a very good option, because not many mecha can actually come to this place easily, and because of that reason only you'd rather have a mecha that can do this. So basically speaking, if you are, let's say, fighting against pro player and you have this one queen class mecha, then obviously the battle is gonna be a lot more easier. Okay, and in case if you're wondering, okay, then what are the other benefits of this mecha? The other benefit of this mecha is the secondary attack. It creates an AoE damage. So as you saw that I only hit only one of the car and rest of the other 4 car actually got damaged. Okay, not only 4. Let's say that skateboard as well as those 4 cars, all of them actually got injured. So what does it mean? It means that the AoE damage of this mecha is actually a lot higher. Okay, how much high it is? It is high enough, or let's say large enough to actually impact up to 4 or maybe 5 of them in total. Yeah, 5 of them in total. So I have used only this one, and rest of the other are also getting damaged. So this is an indication why this mecha is actually good for long range attack, because when it comes to long range attack, even if you were to miss your attack by a certain amount, at least you can still injure your enemies if you were to hit nearby. Okay, so that is the benefit of this mecha, that is AoE damage is extremely high, just like hot steels. Okay, now are there any other techniques in using this mecha? Yes, there is a YouTuber called Divergent once basically made a video regarding Andromeda, on how to use Andromeda, and one of the things that he mentioned in using Andromeda is to make sure not to stand in one place and go forward. Instead, once you use your hovering capabilities, just shoot and go back. For example, you have to shoot and go back, because the only reason why you are doing this is to make sure that you are not gonna get hit. Okay, so that's basically how you should be using this mecha, because this mecha has a durability so low that it would be better to actually make sure that you dodge enemies attack as much as possible. And how can you dodge an enemy's attack? The only way you can do so is to hit and run. Another technique that I think is useful is to be a mosquito. Okay, just like Bruce Lee said, be water in order to become very useful in the battlefield. Similarly, you must need to become a mosquito in this game to actually use this Andromeda very efficiently. One of them is to, let's say, hit your enemies and then go behind a certain place and then hide. Okay, once your fuel recovers, immediately jump back, shoot another mecha, and then hide. If you were to use this mosquito method, then you will be able to defeat a lot more enemies a lot more easier. Whatever you do not attack from the front. This is more of a mid to long range type of mecha. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the tier list finally. So for some reason, I have forgot to unlock the tier list. Anyway, here it is. Okay, so because as you saw that this mecha can go to higher platform a lot easier, let's say from ground level to a higher building. Okay, which is why I have given this mecha a queen class mecha ranking in terms of movement. Okay, and when it comes to the survivability of this mecha, the survivability of this mecha is right below the S rank. The reason behind that is this mecha is relatively slow. Like when you compare the dashing capability, as you already saw, of this mecha compared to this one, this mecha or any of these other mechas here, they have a very fast dashing capabilities. Basically speaking, their dashing or tactical skill are so fast that in case if a certain enemy were to use a rocket launcher, these mechas will be able to run away. Whereas this mecha, even if a rocket launcher were to be shot at them, then what will happen is this mecha is most likely to get hit because the movement of this mecha is extremely slow. Okay. Other than that, if this mecha were to be fighting against any of this mecha on a similar ground or even in higher ground, then this mecha will have a higher chance of survival. The only reason why I am saying this is because this mecha has a very high amount of flight duration, and because of that reason, this mecha can actually go to even higher ground a lot more easier. Now, in order to make sure that you use this Andromeda to its efficient capability as much as possible, then there is this character which is called Joanna. Joanna is actually the user of the Andromeda, and Joanna has this skill which is called Expedious Charge. Basically, what happens is this Expedious Charge is gonna give Andromeda 10% more fuel. So Andromeda will be able to stay in the higher ground, or let's say in the air, for even longer period of time. So overall, that is my total conclusion on Andromeda, on how to use it and which mecha is actually weak against. It is actually weak against fast moving mecha. So if you have any fast moving mecha nearby, you have to be extremely careful because this mecha is extremely slow in terms of shooting and movement. Okay, so if you like this video, then please give a like and subscribe and click the bell notification icons to get more of this type of topic on a regular basis. Thank you and see you again next time.